you for coming. I am Brandon. This is Aaron.
That's me. I'm Erin. Hello.
We went to a bunch of Sears stores.
Brandon said, I'm going to do a Kickstarter where I'm going to drive around the country looking at Sears stores. And I said, you can't go alone. That's crazy. You're going to die. So I went. Anyway.
So this Sears is this is my hometown Sears. Sunrise Mall, Sacramento, California. I guess Citrus Heights. I would say this is the one that started it all. And my attachment to Sears is sort of one of non-attachment, which is, we just started in school.
Okay.
I remember going to Sears. I don't remember really enjoying going to Sears.
Curious you'd make a road trip around
They
it.
kind of they got rid of their toy section in the mid-'80s. There's no
What's
reason
the
for
point?
Yeah. But it was always there. It sort of reminded me of going to the mall and going to other different fun stores. And how about we go to the next slide, which is the first painting. This is 15 years old. I just learned to paint. And I was like, what can I paint that would be, what would be the silliest thing to see kind of done as an impressionist style? And I was like, I'll paint the Sears. I'll paint the Citrus Heights, Sunrise Mall, Sears. And in the back of my head, I always thought it'd be fun to make a whole bunch of Sears paintings, from around the country, put them in a show, and have it be here are the greatest Sears stores of America. The joke being that they'd be all the same. A beige block with the Sears logo. And I was always sort of this is not the most popular painting I've done. I didn't sell a lot of prints of this.
Can't imagine.
So it's kind of why would I ever waste the time and effort to actually do that project? But Kickstarter came around, and cartoonist friends of mine were like, I made $400,000 raising money to publish my book. And I was like, what do I have? What can I do?
What do I have? Sears.
And I was like, I could do the Sears project. And it's kind of a win-win, because you either get the money to do it or you don't, in which case you do not actually have to go around traveling from Sears to Sears. But we did it. We raised $16,000.
Cool.
And so fall, 3 years ago this time, that's actually 1 second, but you and I and our friend Kate.
Yeah, we started with 3.
Started with 3. She was only going to go with us up to Seattle. And then from there, she was going to...
I'm kidding.
She never paid for gas. Although no, she bought me a Fraser
She
shirt.
paid with
She bought me
stories
a Fraser
and
t-shirt.
friendship. Right,
Yeah.
she bought a Fraser t-shirt.
Stories and friendship.
And Fraser.
So we go to the next slide. This is Kate. It's a couple days into the trip. This is a video. And we'll let kind of Kate, in her words at the time, set the tone. So if you can
Press play and take it
Play.
away, Kate.
So Kate, how long have you been traveling with us?
That's Aaron talking.
Since Thursday morning, which is 2.5 days.
Wait. Answer it again, but use the question in your response. I forgot to say that. So how long have you been
That
traveling?
in. Let's cut it out.
So, how long have I been traveling with you? Well, seems like a lifetime. 2.5 days since Thursday morning, and it is, what does that make today? Saturday.
Have you, what have you gotten from this trip?
Well, it's been really fun, first of all. I mean, I love road trips. It's been a beautiful drive. I love looking out the window and watching the scenery change. It's been great hanging out with both you and Brandon. There's times where you'd be napping and Brandon and I would have a one-on-one, or, we girls, so it's been fun hanging out with you for an extended period. But and it's just been cool. I was saying before, it's I know that out of all of the billions of people who have like been alive on this earth, nobody has ever decided to drive around the country and paint Sears stores, and that is pretty incredible to go, I'm along for something that nobody's ever done before. And that's a pretty exciting thought.
What are your predictions for the rest of this trip?
Predictions? Well, the trip for me ends today. I am being dropped off at a hostel where I'm going to hopefully fit my big backpack into a locker and go out and just fuck shit up in Seattle for a couple days. I think for the two of you, I think that Aaron, you're going to just continue to like stare out the window and just be in complete awe, like I am, of just like, what kind of tree is that? Well, look at that. Well, now the mountains are a different color, and I think you'll just continuously enjoy it. I think that Brandon will continue to, each Sears, it's like he knows what he's doing. This is his like, this is his baby, but it seems like every Sears he's just like, kind of like more of the idea like comes together. It's like with each new one, it means something new. Have a great adventure together. You're also gonna get pissed off at each other at some point, for sure.
You keep saying that.
This is the second time I said it. It'll happen, but that's what happens when you spend a month without leaving somebody's side. But then you'll, by the end of it, be, you have a really special relationship because of it. See how Brandon got kind of mad at me just now? We've only been together 2.5 days.
Anything else? Anything else you want to add?
I'm just like so happy right now. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I got to be a part of the beginning of this journey. Excited for you guys to continue it. I can't wait to see when it's like all wrapped up and be like, I had like a little glimpse, like I had a peek, which is a lot more than other people have gotten. I can't wait to see how it comes together, and yeah. I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna miss you, girl.
We'll miss you too.
Goodbye! Don't put that anywhere. Bye.
Okay, let's start.
Day one.
Day one. First thing we see going over you can do the pause thing and just do it manually.
Yeah. Teamsters. That was us. A team.
Yep.
Teamsters.
So we're going over the grapevine. Our plan was basically to go from LA up to Seattle because we were going to meet up with the people who spent $3,000 as a Kickstarter reward. I put that on the Kickstarter as a joke. $3,000, I'll come to your town and paint you with your Sears. And somebody went for it. And because of just their schedules and whatnot, we had to make that the first stop. So we basically just booked it from LA up to Seattle over like 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. That's what Kate said.
Yeah, so we just, no Sears, just we gotta make time.
We stopped at one Sears.
Eventually we got to Oregon, but the first day was just blazing through California.
Mm-hmm.
Past this, next slide. We stopped to get gas in Sacramento. Briefly went to Fairy Tale Town.
They wouldn't let us in because we didn't have children.
Yeah.
Tried to pass Brennan off as one, but the beard gave it away.
Hey.
What? I said the beard gave it away.
Next slide. And then this is...
Say it again.
Yes, but McKinley Park, I think, and their garden. So next slide. And this is way up north, Nancy's Airport Cafe.
They had good pie.
Yeah.
Nancy didn't.
Is that in Humboldt? No. You don't know.
I'm trying to remember because it's not in the mountains or by the coast. It's like right in the, maybe above Reading.
Oh.
But next,
Say it again.
I think it got out of order. That's in Oregon. That's at the first Sears. Next, there we are. We're inside the Airport Cafe. All the aviators on the wall. We're all very happy to start. Took a lot of pictures up front because that's usually how trips go.
Yep.
Next. go on. That's what the car looked like. Going up Highway 5. No Searses. Very boring. Next. First
There it
Sears.
is.
So this was Grants Pass, I think, in Oregon. And nice little sort of Swiss or Germanic touches to the
Yeah, it was a little kind of shopping center where everything looked like this, and it was very quaint.
Yeah, the way we did the trip was to just go, and as we went along, we'd sort of just search for Sears.
We had no plan, 0 plans.
We'd search for Sears, we'd see what popped up, and pull over, and sometimes they're really good.
Sometimes it was like a cemetery.
Yeah, that's one of the upcoming slides, but next. Oh yeah, we pulled up, some dude saw us taking pictures, and he was like, "Oh my God, I just got a great deal on a mattress!" But we weren't filming, so
that is a good deal, guys.
Yeah, 50% off. This is the Sears logo they introduced in 2004, which I think is a crap logo.
Yeah, lowercase lettering, get out of here.
Yeah. So I kind of didn't even bother taking pictures if I saw that. Kind of
Yeah, we were like, out of here.
Next slide. I like this. I might paint this. I like
A lot of good lines.
it's pretty good first Sears, but it's also not the beige block that I expected.
It's true, which we slowly figured out
Yes.
throughout the trip.
Next.
Pumpkins!
Pumpkin patch. This is a pumpkin patch we found when we were looking for Sears. No, seriously, next slide. As you can see,
That's where we thought Sears Cemetery. We went there looking for the Sears Cemetery and we found pumpkins.
yeah.
And I had 5 different apples. Different kinds. I was excited.
Yeah, because sometimes Sears would give somebody's it'd be like Sears, and it would take you to somebody's house because their name was Sears. And what I found is that if it says Sears, usually that's a store, but if it says Sears Roebuck and Company, that means it used to be a Sears.
Oh.
So that's why sometimes we found a Halloween party store, and we're like, where's the Sears? Used to be a Sears.
See, I'm learning things. You're learning things. We're all learning.
Next, I was at the pumpkin patch. We got some Nigerian dwarf goats, and they accompanied us on the trip.
Stayed in the back the whole time.
Yeah, weird that we didn't take any additional pictures of them. Next. Oh yeah, still in Oregon.
It was a pretty scene.
Beautiful fall.
Did we get yelled at this one?
That looks like 11.
We got yelled at
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah, the
times.
security guard yelled at us.
Thanks,
Where
9/11.
was it?
Nancy thinks Albany or Lebanon. No, not Lebanon, but
Albany.
That sounds familiar.
It's Albany.
It was right before a big bridge. Big bridge.
Anyway.
Before Salem.
Solid Sears, everyone.
Yeah.
Solid Sears store.
I think this is the first Sears in Washington. They all had the brick, which you see a lot of in Seattle. Not particularly compelling, the Sears.
I
Next.
thought it was commanding.
Well, you
My
can
word
think that.
for it.
Way.
Anyway.
There's the Sears team. That's the car we were in. My little black Mazda that stopped working today for some reason. Yes, Mom, I drive a Mazda. By the way, if anyone has any questions, if there's anything you need to know about Sears.
Open floor.
Yeah, open forum. Next. Oh, this is a video. So.
There was a video.
It's not a very good video.
Yeah.
But the first night we came into Portland and we met up with my friend Dale, who I know from my artist in residence thing at Cornell, and she showed us the town. So we're at
Don't
Ground
remember any
Control,
of
the video game themed bar. You don't remember it,
This was the only time I drank throughout the whole trip. I swear.
and you started going. By the end of the night, you were just telling everybody. You're like, "You're from North Killtown."
I am from North Killtown. It's a
Yeah.
Simpsons thing. I
So
thought
you
it
can
was
play the video. It's just
scouted.
nonsense. It's
Fine.
nonsense.
It's just loud.
But I feel like
not very good.
It's not.
Way to go.
Let's keep going. That's my
That's
friend Dale.
Dale. God bless her. An angel straight from heaven. She's still alive though. She's still alive.
She's in medical school now.
Oh yeah, she's in medical school, making sure other people are alive. Anyway.
Let's keep going. Here we are. We made it. We had to like book. So
This was
Los
a
Angeles,
good Sears.
Oregon. Made it to. This is the shoreline, just north of Seattle. This is the Sears where we met the couple who spent $3,000 on their painting.
Oh.
And before the trip, when we were planning it, they were like, here are the options of like Sears in Seattle, and they sent me these photos. One of them was like in the middle of the city, so it's just like buildings and like Sears ones. And the other was like brown brick, and they showed me this one, and I was like, that's it. That's the Sears. Pattern, all this old like stuff. It's a great Sears. Yes.
Did you go inside any of the Sears?
Yes, we went inside this one.
We went inside a lot of Sears.
Usually we do.
Well, we saw a lot of Sears.
I don't
The
think
percentage of Sears that we went into the Sears that we didn't go in is still pretty
Yeah, I don't think we bought anything from Sears.
I bought batteries. I bought stuff from Sears.
I
Don't listen to him.
Let's kind of go to
Next one.
next one.
This is
So
fun.
here they are. It's David and Nancy Wall.
They're the
And you might
cutest.
think, like I did, why on earth would anybody want a painting of them with Sears? It turns out they've been married for 20 years, and every year they try to do like something very special for their anniversary and try to top like one up.
They don't give each other presents. They give each other experiences, and sometimes they buy art together
Yeah.
for their anniversary.
And they said they've both been fans of me for a while, and they like the project, and they're like,
Let's do it.
and they both work in retail. I'm not sure what company she works for. But he works, no, it's not Sears. It's like a high-end something or other. He works for Archie McPhee, the weird, like a company
Like
that
the
makes all
novelty company.
Yeah, like the unicorn masks and all that stuff. Like he designs a lot of that. And here they are in front of Sears. I think you can make out a little sign. That sign is telling you about the hearing test you can get at Sears. And this Sears also had a Sears driving school. And yeah.
Are there pictures of the handles?
Yes. Let's keep going.
Is this a video?
Here they are. I think it's just a picture. Everybody's just laughing, having a good time. Let's keep going. More interviews in the Sears. The sun sets. Next one, there's Aaron getting some footage. And there we go. You can see the birds perching. This is, oops, that's the back of the Sears.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the back.
The weird, I love that faded plastic logo there. How, white, okay. Right, anyway, sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's your time, dude.
Let's go.
What a picture of Sears.
So, there they are. And there's more of the Sears. You can see just the texture and the. This is a very old. God, how many of those did I need? There we go. There's the handles, and this is like one of the logos from the 50s. And Sears actually at that time had a couple of logos. They had this swirly one, and they had the all caps, just kind of almost like Times Roman or something, that they would use on like different sides of the buildings. And this is clearly one of their sort of flagship stores, where Sears came to town in the 50s or 60s. At that time, Sears was like
The place.
yeah, they were like Apple at the time, like the most capital. They were sitting on the largest amount of wealth of any company at the time. So they were like, yes, we'll hire architects to design like each store individually to meet the needs of, the city we're placing it in. And they had all sorts of little touches, like these are the handles that you pull to open the doors. And then, keep going. And here's the finished painting.
Aaron, can you
course, by the time I finished this,
I was
they
in the way. Sorry, they were on my head. It's making
yeah,
me
they
laugh.
already had another anniversary.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and we all are now internet best friends.
It's true.
And where does it hang? In their home, in their office? Do you
It's
know?
in their home, in their entryway. Yeah, and they say they look at it every day. This is a video. We're now inside the Sears, and one thing we found was that like I said, when they built the Sears, there was a lot of shopping to be done inside it. And slowly over the years, the space to stuff you can buy has kind of gotten out of whack. So it'd just be like, we're looking kind of in the basement area, put up the holiday decorations, but they're whole like the size of the building that were like
Empty.
yeah, I was like, oh, we have like plastic storage tubs, and at Target they stack those, and Sears is like, let's put one here, and then one here, just to like fill out this giant space. But we could watch the video. I don't know exactly what.
So say your names
I'm David Wall.
Sorry, it's so
and how do
shaky.
you know each other?
We're married, and we've been married for almost 20 years at this point. Our anniversary will be on October 23rd, and we thought that this would be an appropriate wedding anniversary present.
So what does Sears mean to you?
I just think Sears means it's a throwback to the 70s, and it feels like Brandon was saying nostalgic, but not in an emotional way. And it just makes you feel like you're kids again.
Yeah, it's part of the one thing that remains unchanged on the American landscape.
Sorry, another video. Should we go back?
Sure, I think it's kind of them just talking again.
Should we just
Isn't them
play it?
talking about their engagement?
Oh yeah. Let's
No,
go
that
back.
video ended. But do you want to play it again? No, I'm confused.
What?
Oh, go. I think we skipped one. There we go.
Oh, that
Here's a
one, okay.
video. I think this one's a little long, but they talk about how they met, and it's better
If the
than me
movie
talking.
makes you feel nauseous, just close your eyes and listen to the story.
What makes this a perfect anniversary present?
Well, we love each other very much. Of course. And what we decided many years ago that instead of just like buying each other random gifts that would maybe not have much meaning, we decided for like birthdays and holidays that we would buy art for each other. We love pop art, and we are a big fan of Brandon's art. Before this Kickstarter, so when David, you can tell the story about when you like introduced like this idea.
Well, we found the Kickstarter, and there was by a painting, and then when I saw that there was one that was put us in the painting, I thought we can't think of a better anniversary present for us to get one another for our 20th anniversary. So we can't.
We were so excited too when David Wall was like, "Oh gosh, you know what? Maybe we should do this." It was a huge relief because I was like, "What am I gonna get?"
Well, everybody knows the 20th anniversary is the Sears portrait anniversary.
Yes, exactly.
And then David Wall was really excited too because he's like, "Oh, I don't have to worry about what we're gonna get for each other."
And I can tell you the decision once I brought it up literally took like 45 seconds to say yes after I brought it up. And so there you have it, pretty much. And it's nice because we both have kind of a connection to retail too. So it's going to be it has a little deeper meaning for both of us since it's kind of something that we're both involved in.
That's awesome. When you guys got married, did you register at Sears?
When we got married, we did not register at Sears. It was David Wall and myself. Well, it was David and myself, and my best friend, our joint best friend, and then this other guy. And that was there were only 300 people at our wedding.
Yeah, we kind of eloped, but we didn't leave. We looked in the yellow pages under wedding ceremonies, and there was this new age lady who did Indian wedding ceremonies. And so we went to her house and sat down at her table under a giant portrait of Bob Dylan. And she had like at the time it was a dot matrix printout of her wedding vows, and I just went through and crossed off
every God reference.
every God and spirit reference. And then we went out in her backyard, and her neighbor watched us get married from his riding mower and didn't even stop mowing his lawn. On a pumpkin.
Yeah, because I'm obsessed with pumpkins. And in Ohio, they have drive-through like beer and wine. So we went to this drive-through beer and wine to pick up my pumpkin, and the woman who married us, we had to give her $100.
In cash.
That was a whole lot of money to us.
Yeah, it wasn't
Right? It was a
money.
whole lot of money back then 20 years ago. And she like pulls up in her car, like going through the drive-through getting some beer after she married us. And then we had a reception at Bob Evans.
And they gave us a free brownie sundae.
Oh my God, beautiful.
That's an amazing story. So if David was in a department, what would he be?
Sears.
Yes. If David was a Sears department, what department do you think he'd be?
That's a good question.
And then vice versa.
Well, let me go first.
Okay.
Because I think Nancy would be Betty. Because
I love my best.
she has a collection of duvet covers, sheets, and shams that fills out an entire closet at home. And I know that that's one of the things she used to do when she worked at Lazarus was make the beds. And when I first met her, she had a whole slideshow of beds that she'd made to carry along for her resume,
In my portfolio.
which she would never show anyone today.
I would. David Wall would probably be, the back to school department with all the great back to school supplies, because he loves notebooks of any kind, and like markers and pencils, and just like having like all those supplies. So that's the department you would be in, right?
So cute. And then last one, how did you guys meet? You're already laughing. It's a good story.
David was, he worked at the Columbus Library when he was finishing college.
In the audio
In
visual
the
department.
AV department. He was adorable. He had this really like long hair, but not in like a sexy long hair kind of way. It was like kind of like plastered to his face. He's really tall. He's like 6'5". So he's like this lanky, torso-y guy. And one of my ex-boyfriends worked in the library, and I went to get movies because we were really poor. You could check movies out. And David Wall was like checking my movies out, and the movie was To Serve with Love, and most people my age didn't know that movie because it's kind of old. And he not only knew the movie, but he really liked it, and he made a comment about it, and he was just so sweet and so cute. But the next day, I went back. I got all dolled up.
After calling your
Oh
ex-boyfriend.
yeah, I had to call Glenn Holmstrom to ask about this guy, what about that guy in AV? And so I went, and he was working in the area where you could
Watch
watch
videotapes.
videos and stuff, and there were all these like homeless men like surrounding him, like he was like a god of the AV department, and I'm like all dolled up with all my makeup, I had all dolled makeup on, I don't know why, and like all orange shorts and a vest, and I go and I asked him, and he made me laugh.
And then the homeless guys applauded
He was
afterwards.
applauding, and then I like when he was dancing, and he's like, I will.
Oh my god.
That's how we met.
You guys are the cutest.
And I'm like Nick.
Oh, okay. You guys are great.
Oh my goodness. They were such a story.
Sorry, it's hopping a lot. Okay. Right there.
Um,
Hold on. No, one more. Right, is this a video or still?
It's just a video.
Okay.
atmosphere. We can move on.
We want to move on?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Don't play.
We got some ground cover. This is we're in Seattle. We stayed the night at my sister's place on Vashon Island. So this is
Took the dogs for a walk.
keep going. There's Crumpet in the woods. Keep going. Here's the lake. This is the late and much lamented Tung Tung. And this,
That's the island.
Okay.
From the ferry.
Yeah.
Miss Treasures. That's Kate taking off. Aww. Oh. Let's pause
This
here.
is my favorite. This is my favorite
What?
thing in the whole trip, and
So-
this is the beginning. Can I tell it from my?
Sure.
And then you
Sure.
can finish. Okay. So I'm so sick. I'm very
Yeah.
very ill.
So I stayed at my sister's place, and Kate and Aaron went into Seattle and stayed at a hostel, right?
where I picked up something. I got so sick. And then Brandon was gracious enough to get me my own room when we were on the trip because I was sick. Also, he probably didn't want to get sick too.
Even though
Anyway,
I did
I'm like,
mention
I'm pulling my stuff in and I'm feeling really crappy and I look at my phone. I'm like, I text from Brandon. He's right down the hall. What does he want? I look and it's like, did you get half of a waffle and a half-drunk cup of milk in your room? Because that's what's in my room. And he sent me this picture. It was just really funny. Sears.
Yeah, but you describe, like, next day you're like describing your room. You're like, oh, it was so great. I had the best sleep, and I'm like, they did clean mine. There's like some guy's waffle and milk still in there.
Still
And there were
pretty
like
funny.
bugs and stuff. And anyway, that's the waffle.
It was
that
nice
greeted
for
me.
me. Good Hojo. Good Hojo experience.
Let's see that. Here we go. This is middle of, I want to say Yakima.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, like middle of Washington. I've never been out in the middle of Washington. It's all,
How does that rank in Sears architecture?
I-
Moderate?
4.
yeah, moderate. Yeah. Weirdly, a lot of Sears were hiring on this trip. And this is I don't know what a shop code is, but I took this because like
Is it because there's the
oh yeah, Sears
the
van.
van there too?
Sears van. But yeah, this was just a weird kind of like in a bowl where it was just surrounded by mountains on all sides.
That's the other side of it, right? That's
Yeah.
the same one.
It's another side. Yeah, it's the tool side of Sears. And there's our shadows.
So artsy.
Oh yeah.
Feel the art.
This is Spokane, I think.
Spokane. Yeah.
You know, and that's an example of a 1984 Sears logo. You can see the lines are broken in the S.
Oh.
How much research did you do on like the Sears logo and the timeline and?
I'm gonna reveal something. I really didn't notice there was a difference in the logos until maybe like midway through. And then I looked it up, and it was like this was the 1984 logo, and then in 1984, and then in 94 they kind of thinned out those lines and made the match, and then in 2004 they made that stupid lowercase one. And now I hate it. And now they have like a really thin logo, but they're too poor to
Is
like.
it the smile one with like the
The red
swoop
line?
under?
The swoop was the on the outside lowercase.
Yeah.
Usually the lowercase and the swoop.
Oh.
But then they replaced that with like this really thin one. And they're too poor to put it on their buildings though, so it's just like on like their
But
back.
I love this Sears. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's one where we got onto the parking garage. If you go to the next slide.
Nope.
Nope.
That
Keep
one.
going.
That's Montana.
That's a donut shop. There we go.
There it
Oh,
is.
that's neat.
Aerial view, Sears trucks loading up.
It's good.
Driving through. It might be in Iowa. No, this is still Spokane. So another Sears.
Oh, it's going quick.
You know, oh, we saw a lot of this stuff up there in the upper half of the frame. That's called weather, and we saw a lot of that on the trip.
Yeah.
And this design of Sears, we also saw a lot. This was like, this.
This one?
Yeah, like sometimes it'd be like kind of different colors and whatnot, but this tower with this like
Oh.
facade. There are lots of Sears that look like this. Maybe there's like a kit where you can like build your own. Yeah, there's the '94 logo. There's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That's a Sears truck. Texture.
It's good. Get a sense of time.
Yeah. And there we are on the Idaho border. Oh, we did this thing where one of the rewards, it came to Aaron in a dream, right?
Yeah.
That we had agreed to like shout out everybody's name when we
Mhm.
across the state line.
Yeah.
So I added that as a reward for like an
Like
extra
a
$1.
Yeah. We would stop and shout your name.
And we did.
A lot. We did a lot.
So that's me in Idaho shouting some names. And this,
This is the best used bookstore I've ever been in.
yeah. So on the trip, Aaron got into collecting those golden guides.
They're like illustrated field guides that Golden Guide put out.
Yeah, like that big.
Yeah, they're like this big. They fit in your pocket. They're like pocket field guides, but
Yeah.
the illustrations are beautiful. And
Yeah,
I got
so it'd be
really
like-
into finding them.
The Golden Guide to Birds.
Yeah.
And I remember having some in like the 80s, but a lot of them had editions going back like the 50s. It was
Yeah.
fun.
It was really good.
Big.
It's our friend Annie. Hello, Annie. Welcome.
We're in Montana.
Oh, okay. We're in Montana.
And then I saw on the side of the road that there was. Sorry, I know you just asked a question. I'm not sure where. We saw on the side of the road a sign that said 10,000 books.
I think it's at a million.
I didn't say a million.
It's at a very large number.
100,000. Let's agree on 100,000.
100,000. I think, yeah. 100.
100,000 books. Next turn off, and like we kind of missed it, and we're like, oh, that would have been cool. And then we saw another one that said the same thing, so we turned off, and we realized it was a
Yeah,
town
what
that
I-
just went through a loop.
Yeah, because what I did was I got off the road, we drove a ways, and we're like, we're not seeing it. Huh. So we got back on the road, then saw another exit, and got back, and drove, and realized that it was right, like, before I had, like, turned around. So yeah, it was
It was like
literally
a town
that
on
was
one
a street.
street that came on and off the freeway, and it was just that loop.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
there's
this was
this
that one.
awesome bookstore, and we talked to the owner, who's from California, I think.
Yeah, it was like a really crazy story. Like her dad had
Had-
this crazy used bookstore collection, and after he died, she inherited it.
Yeah, and then I think moved it to Montana.
And moved the entire collection to Montana. So it was this gigantic, decades-old used bookstore collection.
You know, when you're searching for Sears, you find a lot of history.
Really do.
That's just what happens. Let's keep going. There's a bunch of pictures of
Books
some
that
of the
were
books I
in the.
found. Mighty Monarch of the Sea, Man Improves His World. She's story.
Oh my god.
Into the Ocean. Like, look at that design.
Anyway, lots of
That's
great
intense.
books.
Yeah. Like everyday lads adventures in Corpus
This is Brandon's only in the ocean section. He's only
Yeah, this
in
is
the
like
ocean
a shelf.
section.
Just be like
Oh,
Sears catalog.
From 1909.
Yeah,
you didn't. Why didn't you buy it?
I did buy it.
Oh, good.
When did the catalog first come out?
I think the catalogs predate the retail stores.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the catalog was like end of the 1800s, and the stores, I don't think the stores started till like 1910, 1920, something like that.
Yeah.
Some of the facts. And this is now Billings, Montana.
Again,
once
hiring.
hiring.
What time of year was this?
This was fall, it's October 2013.
Might have been gearing up for the holiday.
That's what I figured. I guess it's out of order, but this is not Billings. This is Annie. What's a town?
Missoula, Bozeman, Great Falls.
Bozeman.
Bozeman sounds familiar. Bozeman sounds
This
familiar.
looks like the one I went to in Bozeman, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. This Kiko arrived at night. We ate at Red Robin for the first of many.
We ate at Red Robin a lot. Can I just say too, their quality does not falter. Love Red Robin. Anyway, this isn't during the day.
I like the Sears for its simplicity, low to the ground, one motif, slab architecture. You know, that's what's going on. Another used bookstore and like a weird, kind of remind me of like a gold rush town. This was like traveling in time to a 1980s book fair.
Yeah, it was really good. A lot of gold guides there.
You know, yeah. So some of these photos are all from like different cameras, so like the dates are all a
they're
little
all
out of
weird.
whack.
But
So
yeah,
I think
there's
we've
Chili's.
jumped ahead to South Dakota.
This is when we stayed at our first Best America Value Inn.
Mm.
Best Valley, yeah, that's what it's called. Sure.
Yeah.
And after that, it was downhill, hotel-wise. We were
Yeah,
parked
this was
a
South
little
Dakota
bit.
because that was the first, I think, only time we found snow.
Yeah, which was lucky.
Yeah.
We kept just missing the snow.
Yeah, that's when we used to start. Yeah, here we are. Now we're back in early East.
Now we're back.
Yeah, here's Billings, Montana. That's the current Sears logo. Terrible logo.
Ugly.
But I like the Sears because as you can see it in the other photos, they were like that mountain slab just right behind it. I thought that was a really interesting visual. We'll keep going. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, how neat.
Like that's cool.
It's good.
So brown.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's nice when you get nice handsome pictures. And I like that logo because it's like the white, but then blue on the side.
I like this deal. Whatever's happening there, I like it.
That's the life raft. Lifeboat.
Secret Ark and Sears.
Yeah. And it's just some up close texture. Shopping cart.
Sears
Yeah. So I wanted to throw in some detail pictures so it's like you're right there. Oh God!
Oh God!
We've jumped ahead to Waldrug,
Oh,
which is this terrible thing in South Dakota.
it is terrifying.
It's this town that had nothing else going for it, and like decades ago, some weird dude was like, you know what? I'm gonna put up. He had a drugstore. He's like, I'm gonna put up all these signs telling people come to Waldrug, and then he kept adding all these terrible attractions. So it's a lot of like Western Americana crap.
Feels like a Goosebumps book.
Yes. With like
Like they come to life at night, try to kill you.
yeah, or like if they put Knott's Berry Farm in the middle of nowhere and didn't have any rides, and just had like fake Western stuff. It was very strange. I mean, we did not take enough pictures, but just it was terrifying.
There are more though.
Yeah, and they'd have random.
You
little
put quarters in where
animatronic
all these were
characters.
broken. They were all broken.
Yeah.
Lots of
and Waldrug.
taxidermy.
I think those are the only Waldrug. You could just extrapolate from those three pictures.
That was it.
Extrapolate the worst place ever.
But please visit Waldrug.
No, I liked it.
I mean, it's an experience.
And it's great marketing.
Yeah.
Because you have to go because
We
you see
went.
so many signs.
And there's nothing
We
else
went.
there.
Yeah.
There's nothing else there.
That's from the
This is the
best,
the best
Best America's Value Inn. Best
something like that.
Value America's.
It was we stayed in a lot of motels of very differing qualities.
But this was one
This
of
was
the better.
very nice, and I could have stayed in their continental breakfast room forever.
Oh.
And this Sears, this is Rapid City, South Dakota.
I like this one.
Is this a video? I think this is the video.
Feels like a public school.
Is it a video? Okay, one of these is a video. But there, yeah. Just look at it.
It's a moving picture.
It's very
Yeah.
patriotic. That's it.
Yeah, just this nice little bit of snowfall, and
That's me pointing at dirty snow.
this is I am working on the painting of this right now.
That's pretty.
But yeah, I think this was like before they even opened.
Yeah,
So,
no one was there.
Yeah.
Because you had to get your light checked. Brandon had one broken light that couldn't get fixed.
Yeah.
But we kept going to these Sears Auto Centers, and they're like, it's just a faulty wire. Like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, because the night before we'd been driving through Wisconsin, no, the other W, Wyoming, and just pitch black middle of the night. We were pulled over, and
Twice.
that's right, twice in one night.
Twice in a row.
And I was terrified because I haven't pulled over in a while.
He tried to pull over.
No, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
And the guy just gave it, like, he gave us the citation. And in California, if you get a citation, you have to pay money and go to a thing. And we're both just looking at it.
Trying to figure out how
And
much
like
we had to
forever.
pay.
And we were just like, this isn't a ticket. It just says we should probably get it fixed.
Yeah. Which was nice.
Yeah, but we were so confused. They're just like, no lights out, fix it.
It wasn't even a fix-it ticket. It was
Yeah, that was
just
the
like,
thing. It was
hey,
just
you should get this fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a courtesy note.
Yeah.
It was like he wrote us a lunch note and just put it on a little lunch and sent us on our way.
Let's go through this. There's Sears.
There's probably a lot of the Sears. It's a
Yeah.
good Sears. Solid.
But yeah, leaving that Sears, I guess you're supposed to slow down in and around cities. I got pulled over.
That was very funny. He tried to pull.
I don't think it's that funny.
He tried to pull over to the left. You're supposed to pull over to the right. He started pulling over to the left, and the cop started yelling at him over the intercom. Pull over to the right, to the right. And then he made Brandon get out of the car.
Yeah,
He thought he was on drugs.
He made me get in the car with him.
Doesn't seem safe.
Yeah.
It's not very safe.
And he like sat me down and he was like, "Oh, you were pulled over last night for the, you know, yeah." And he's like, and you know, I think he's looked at this and he said, "Oh, so Officer Wilson, you must be with the drug talk, huh?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah, I was like, "The drug talk?" He's like, "Well, you know, sometimes when we pull people over, we just mention that, you know, it's not good to carry drugs, and sometimes they'll just give us the drugs." And I was just like, okay. I was like, talking to the wrong guy. But yeah, I was disturbed because I was like,
And I was in the otdo the
yeah,
whole
and
time.
well, the
I was
reason
just
we were by the left lane, and there was just this unobstructed giant expanse where you could pull. So I was like, do I go over here? Anyway, I guess I learned a lot about driving a car.
You didn't know you had cruise control until like day 2. Anyway.
This is somewhere, I don't know.
Oh, that's
Okay.
our friend Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, we stayed at our friend Tony's parents' house in.
Graciously let us stay there.
Was it like something like Maple Grove? It was a very nice suburb
It was in
of
Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Oh,
And we.
We stayed in him and his sister's childhood rooms.
Yeah.
And there were so many pictures of little Tony. I had to take so many.
Yeah, let's see some more Tonys.
Is it good?
And these are the postcards I was sending out to donors from the road. The nice doily on Tony's childhood table. Hero. This Sears was pretty cool. We spent a lot of time at this one because I was getting the car looked at the Sears Auto, just like right in front of this thing. But this Sears was great because it has all this cool texture and
It's
these
got
fall
this,
colors.
Like this crazy brick pattern was
Crazy
neat.
brick pattern, and you know, again, a Sears, it's not a slab. They put time into designing this thing. And there's lots of great views, so let's keep going through.
More Sears.
Some other Sears aficionados.
Oh, that's a different Sears.
Yeah, let's keep.
But
let's
see,
skip
that's
that.
it's got the
Yeah, it's
tower.
got that tower.
Oh, this is the Sears though.
Yeah, so.
Even the sidewalk.
Yeah, very nice old Sears, but over there, it's attached to a mall that's like
Empty, right?
empty and like ready to be demolished, and it was kind of weird because you see these Sears, and you'd think it'd be the opposite, but instead you're like, why is Sears the only thing in business?
Yeah. We ate at that Wendy's.
Yeah, and I think the secret is that Sears, back when they had all the money in the world, just would buy their properties outright. So even if the retail isn't, if they're not making money on that, they don't really have the overhead of like mall rent. They own the property. So they're like, sure, keep it open. Up close. Yeah, I really like this. And there's
more.
And this is in Minnesota?
This was just
It has these
outside.
handles too, but it doesn't have the Sears logo. But it's definitely got the grid handles. Not that handle, but.
Is there a Christian motif with Sears, or is that just?
I think that's just a coincidence. Just when you taking a picture. Taking a picture. And our friend Shaddy is from Minneapolis. She sent us a picture of the same Sears like a year or two later, and they had demolished that whole top and replaced it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
And then they even had these cool like parking
Like, remember where you
signage.
parked?
Because
Whimsical Fox.
yeah, because again in the 50s and 60s these were like destination Sears stores.
Yeah.
So the parking lots were huge because it'd be like, hey, it's the weekend. What's everybody doing in the like 80-mile radius? They're going to Sears to get
Stuff.
whatever people bought in the 50s. And that's up close texture.
Really got a lot of pics of this Sears, don't you?
Yeah, but we were also there for like 2 hours.
Ah, that's true.
There's a painting I made. A little guy, just a little guy. Minimalist, fall colors. Little. And that's the sun kind of setting behind the sea. And then now we've moved into, what's that place? Wisconsin. We got a nice night Sears. Sears was okay.
It was a little too modern for me.
Yeah.
I do like this stripe though. I like the gray stripe going around the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of the Sears logo, they're like lenticular. With that weird plastic. Look at that. Now we're in Chicago. In Chicago, that's like, the base
Where
of Sears.
Sears is based.
Yeah, and you'd think it's gonna be the highlight of the trip. It sucked.
The worst Sears.
Yeah, again, this is just like that Sears in Tacoma with that tower thing and the arches, but it's just a different color scheme.
Is the logo on here, it's inverted from the previous one, right? Like, the other one was white with a black stripe.
Yeah, there was a lot of variance in like what colors.
And that's
it
actually
shows.
blue
Yeah, it's blue with the
with white.
with white. But this is like the only Chicago Sears we looked at.
We didn't go to the Sears Tower.
Didn't go to the Sears Tower. Didn't
It
go to.
was also the Chicago Marathon, which made it
Yeah.
very difficult
So
to get
at
around.
this stage in the trip, Erin's getting better. She'd been sick.
Uh-huh.
I started getting a super sore throat. The night before, we were in Wisconsin. It's night, and I'm like, should we stop for a place? And you were kind of like, no, I'm gonna keep driving. Usually I would drive for the day, and you do
I
night.
do night driving. It
And
made me sound like a ogre at this point. I wasn't at that part yet. I was still enjoying driving.
Excuse me. And we were kind of like, oh, keep going. We'll find a place because we hadn't had any trouble finding just random hotels to stay.
Oh, this was the worst night of our lives.
Yeah. We don't have any photos for this story.
We have no photos. We only have our memories.
Yeah. So we're like, oh, we're now really tired. Let's find a place. We went to like 2 or 3 motels and we're like, nope, don't have any room. Don't have any room. And we gradually, we're getting like closer and closer to Chicago. And
It's like
well, we were realizing that, it was the weekend of the Chicago Marathon. So, like busloads of like runners and spectators were coming in and, just filling up all the available like space. And we eventually found a place, like we were using like different apps and maps and stuff.
Just trying to find anywhere that we could just see.
And
it didn't matter where it was.
yeah, we were so tired, and we stopped at this Econo Lodge. And I'm like, I'll go in and get a room.
I'll wait with our stuff.
Yeah, and I just go up to the clerk. Do you have a room? He's like, yep, $50. I'm like, okay, doing the stuff. And I'm looking around, and it's very clear that this is like a prostitute Econo Lodge.
There was
Because
a lot
like,
of prostitutes.
They were like Johns with like white dreads.
White guy dreads. Some guy brought in a pizza.
Yeah, somebody brought in a pizza and like set it down, and a regular came in and she's like, oh hey, like, it was like a very strange like social scene, and I'm like, this is interesting. Like walking out to the car, there were like cab drivers, just like sitting there. I'm like, oh, those are like the hookups or stuff. I come up to the car, and Erin's on the phone with Sam, her boyfriend at the time, and
he's
Sam,
like, don't stay
yeah,
there.
Sam's like a touring comedian.
So he's traveled a lot, and he's like, get out of there.
Yeah. So I walk up to the car, and I'm kind of like, and Erin just looks at the phone. She's like, Sam does not want to stay here.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and I looked at the cars next to us, and it looked like someone had just broken someone's window.
Yeah. And as we're sort of like, what do we do? Like an old man, like kind of like walks by, and kind of like looks in the back seat, and we're just like,
let's stay here. Brandon didn't know you could just drive away with the key.
well, there's a key card.
There's a key card. It's a piece of plastic.
Yeah. But it's like, sorry, I'm not so tired anymore.
Yeah, and then we ended up staying at the
Yeah, we were like calling places.
the Hard Rock Hotel.
No, that was before. Because we found. Sorry, we're being rambly.
Really, I haven't thought about this.
We stayed at. We figured out what a nice suburb was.
Oh yeah, we stayed at the nicest.
And then we were like, let's try to find a hotel there. And the hotel we found, like, they're like, do you have rooms? And they're like, yes, we have rooms. Like, do you have 2 beds? We're like, yes, we have 2 beds.
The only place that had 2.
Are you non-smoking? And they're like, yes, we're non-smoking. And then we get there, and it's like
it's on the
every cigarette that's ever been smoking was in that room.
Oh.
And we're like,
it was thick. It was thick.
yeah, and I'm like, I have a sore throat, and I'm like, I don't want to just be breathing this all night.
Yeah.
Like, do you have, like, you said non-smoking, and the guy's like, I don't know what you said non-smoking.
Anyway.
And then they're like, do you have 2 beds? We're like, yes, we have 2 beds. And there was like a middle room that was also wrong. The fine bed did not have 2 beds.
It had 1 big bed.
Yeah.
Brandon was full-blown sick at this point.
Yeah,
He would not
and
sleep in that bed.
the guy was just sort of like, so he kind of gave you bedding and tucked you into a chair.
I was just in a chair.
It was like 3 a.m.
It's fine. I slept. It was fine.
Yeah, so Chicago sucks.
Never go.
No, the next morning we basically were just like, let's go to a real hotel. We went to the
Get out of here.
We went to the Hard Rock Hotel.
It was very funny. We stayed on the Chicago floor.
Yeah.
The band Chicago, not the place.
Yeah, so that's not
I didn't get it.
We ate some pho.
We ate pho. We didn't eat at Red Robin.
This is when we left Chicago.
It was the day of the marathon.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, some Chicago. That's the museum. We went to the art museum.
Which changed my life, by the way.
It's the Pritzker Pavilion in Millennium Park.
Oh, are you from
Right down
Chicago?
there, yeah.
I'm sorry I just bad much.
Sorry, we're talking about
No, well, I was going to ask if you went to one in Des Plaines, which was on the catalog, which is one of the originals, but I guess not.
No, we got like
That's where the original McDonald's is too. It's like Des Plaines, Illinois, originals.
Yeah, I feel like Chicago was like a missed opportunity, but it was also just sort of like.
It was so hectic from the marathon, we just didn't even want to.
Yeah, we were just sort of.
All the good Sears are in the suburbs, like all the big gray slabs.
That's what I figured, but even that one we saw, we went into that mall a little, and everybody seemed really angry.
Yeah, it was like a weird vampire mall.
It was the art museum, which I loved.
I loved it too. I was in
we kind of split up.
basement.
Yeah, I looked at paintings, and she found like
I found all the
the miniatures.
I found like the miniatures. I forget the name right now, but it like kind of changed my perspective on my career. I'm a miniaturist. So it kind of like made me realize I could get serious about it, and I kind of set off from Chicago with like new vigor towards my life and a goal. So Chicago wasn't all that bad.
This is a building in Chicago.
And then we stayed.
That may have been where we
It
stayed.
was like a beautiful building, but then the inside was the Hard Rock Hotel.
I think this is now Indiana.
Is that Taco Bell? Just kidding. We didn't do anything with that Taco Bell.
Yeah, there's once again, remnants of a time gone by.
What year is that logo?
That's a 94. I like this
Don't park
awning.
there.
Just another angle. Some of the Sears are not actually that interesting.
Did you get your car fixed at that Sears too? I feel like we were inside that Sears. It was when I realized I lost my card.
No, that was the one. I think this is that one, but it was outside of Detroit.
Mm.
And when I finally was able to get the light fixed, it was so strange because the woman at the counter was like, I was like, yes, I'll pay $70 to have you like take the, because I couldn't figure out how to get my hand into the. I was like, yeah, I'll pay $70, and she was sort of like, are you sure? There's like, you can just get a bowl. It's much cheaper. And I was like, are we? Like Detroit felt very much like a.
Well, they're trying to help everyone out.
Yeah, but it felt very like post-civilization. Like everything fell to pieces, and now everybody's helping bring each other up from the rubble.
Oh yeah. Is this where we ate at Steak Shack though?
Steak and Shake?
Steak and Shake. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my first time eating there.
Maybe? I don't know. So here we go. Now we're outside of Detroit. And we drove up to a Sears that like they were taking the logo down
As we drove up.
So I've seen the new logo, the ugly new logo on like little signs and things, but I'm not seeing them on the big signs. It seems like most of the Sears are still have the 80s or the 90s
Yeah,
logo.
I think I've seen like one with the new logo. And I think it's just they don't have the resources
to change it.
Yeah. They should make an effort to go back to the original logos and be like, Sears Classic, it's retro.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just, let's keep going. This is, my regret, my regret is not asking these like Teamster dudes if I could take one.
Yeah. Just strap it to the top of
Yeah.
the mast.
Yeah, there they are. Just taking it down.
Oh well.
No more Sears. And this looks like it's like a 90s Sears. Doesn't look like it even had much of a run. And sweeping up Sears. Yeah, I should have just taken it. Yeah.
It's good.
And this is the painting I made.
Oh, that's.
And I wanted to make it like almost abstract. Like, what am I even looking at? And it's like, you're looking at a Sears that's been taken apart.
You're looking at a Sears, fool!
And here, oh yeah,
This
Ohio.
is one of the Sears that the internet brought us to.
Yeah, this is a. I don't know what this was, but it is dead.
It's not a Sears.
But right next to it, in the next slide.
Now hiring.
In fairness, I think this was before they opened, and I think those were employees waiting to go to work. Although I looked up this Sears, and this Sears has closed. So.
I like this Sears though.
I mean, from a visual standpoint, yeah, but.
It's like
in Detroit?
eerie.
No, this is Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah. All the Ohio Searses we saw were like very gray and like weirdly fascist, I guess.
That was me in the car. I was like, I'm not getting
Yeah.
this.
It's kind of like zombie attack weather. Yeah, this is what I would call a fascist Sears.
Welcome into Sears.
Yeah, like who really wants to spend time in a structure like that?
Some like cool texture on the.
Yeah, like cool
that
texture,
border.
but kind of like.
Yeah, that's brutalist.
Yeah. And another, I think this was the third of 3 Ohio Sears, got yelled at by a security guard.
We constantly got yelled at by security guards. You can't take pictures of the Sears store from the parking lot. It's kind of weird.
Mall policy, not a Sears policy. And
I
kind
like
of,
this one.
yeah, this is Buffalo, and this is, it's because that's the 1984 logo that's clearly been maintained.
And it's white and red. That's
White
like the
and red.
first time we've seen one like
Very
this.
unique Sears logo.
And it's got the.
And then right here, in like gold foil, it's like Sears Roebuck and Company, or like the date of the founding of the company, the founding of the store.
Satisfactory guarantee or your money back. It says it on the
Yeah,
window.
this is a classy Sears. And then if we go to the next ones, as we pull out, it's a double Sears. Like this is the best Sears. So when I'm gonna paint this, I'm sort of working on now. It's like extra long, double Sears.
Double Sears.
Oh.
And again, a lot of parking lot.
The parking lots always seem very desperately lonely. Are you hitting them at really early hours, or do you find
A lot of them are hitting at early hours.
Yeah.
This one was about 5 p.m.
We were driving just from Sears store to Sears store, so they were like morning, afternoon, night. We were just 3 solid meals of Sears.
Moonrise over Sears.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a little lobster dinner.
My boyfriend at the time's mother lives in Cape Cod, and we drove all the way to Cape Cod, and she had this wonderful, she had some friends staying there too, so she got all of us a lobster, which was fun, and we had lobster and a lot of wine and a lot of good food, and we stayed there for 2 days.
Yeah, just hanging out in Cape Cod.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and we saw the cranberry bogs, and we saw a glass blowing demonstration.
We have been.
We saw many things that I should have taken pictures of.
Yes, that's the boardwalk, which is a thing there.
And we got a little Sears, scoping.
Yeah, we went
While we were
Sears scoping in Cape Cod. There's a tree.
There's a tree.
I love this. It's like an obelisk with Sears on it.
I like this. It's kind of a cookie cutter, probably built in the 90s Sears, but they still were like, we're in Cape Cod.
Cape Cod aesthetic.
Yeah,
A sea of Sears.
And I loved when a one letter was off. I love
They're looking at it too. They're also admiring the E.
And then this was Connecticut or Rhode Island or something.
I liked this texture because it looked like cross stitching from far away.
And then, we're getting it closer in the next. There we go.
I would hate building that.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's a union job for sure.
Yeah. So I expected just boring slabs. Nope.
Not even the same cream. Not even the same khaki.
Yeah. They're like, let's do cream and khaki.
You think there's a Pantone color khaki for Sears?
This was Connecticut. So.
I like this red rose.
And again, now
I have a friend that I've known from Tumblr for years, and she lives in Pennsylvania. She's like, "You're going around the country. You gotta come to Pennsylvania and visit me." So I was like, "Okay, I'll meet this person for the first time on a stressful road trip. Stressful but carefree, sure." She lived in this big publishing warehouse that her grandfather owned. She lived upstairs, and she just had it kind of all decked out to be her own thing. She I don't know. Now she has pop-up shops in there all the time, whatever. But
it was a huge space, and there's one point when I was just looking around, and they have these big common rooms, and then side apartments.
This is one corner of the warehouse. It's a gigantic warehouse.
I opened a door, and it kept going.
Yeah.
There was just an extra house basically that they just didn't use.
Yeah, and
it was just storage.
And then the bottom, this is the second floor. The first floor, which is where her dad ran his I think that he's a
accountant or
I
actuary.
don't know. It's some weird. Anyway, the bathroom's downstairs. I don't even know if I told you this story. The bathroom's downstairs. She showed me to the bathroom. I'm sitting in the bathroom. It's a very corporate feeling office bathroom with the stalls. It's standard, and I hear the sink go on, and I'm like, blah blah blah, some random conversation topic, and I don't hear anything. The water's still going, and I'm like, hey, we should go get food after this. Still nothing, and the water's going, and I look under the thing, and the water stops, and there was nobody there. Nobody there! I don't want to tell you because it's haunted. I don't want to see the haunted house. Anyway, I went upstairs looking kind of pale. She was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Because I don't want to hear that this place is haunted or that anyone died here. Because if you say that to someone who has had this property in their life for a while, they're going to tell you all the crazy things. I don't want to sleep there. The dog that looked like it was driving a car.
Fresh and change your pace.
This is a great start to the next day. Made me feel real happy.
And now we're in, because what we kind of did, we did Cape Cod, and then we decided to skip New York and we were just kind of made
We
a,
were planning originally on going around America.
and instead we kind of made like a diagonal through the South, like Pennsylvania, Virginia. Then like we didn't go into Georgia or any of like the South.
We missed a lot of good Sears, I bet.
Yeah, I think this is Tennessee. I think. Kentucky. This is a weird Sears up on a hill.
Yeah. It was really beautiful, though.
Yeah, and then the next. Yeah, there's just the car, the expanse of.
Nothingness.
Yeah. Nothingness. And then here, what's going back here is how we look up like Sears on our like GPS. This was a ghost Sears that has been turned into a community college.
It's the best use of an old Sears.
Yeah. And this was an awesome bookstore that I think maybe was a library or something.
Who knows? It was great.
Yeah, it was just filled.
You can see some of the great purchases that
Yeah,
Brandon
if we
made.
go to the next one, there's Freddie
He's all that, guys.
25 cents.
Yeah. I actually do not know why I did not buy that.
I don't know what
Did
you
you buy it?
I didn't buy it.
You did.
He
I
bought
bought this.
We listened to it in a loop for like a half of a day.
Yeah, so it's personally selected by Hayden Fox, who I don't know if you know anything about Coach. Hayden Fox is a fictional character.
And then every page for every
Yeah,
song.
in the liner notes, it has him describing why he picked, Bad to the Bone.
So good.
And
Lots of
what
birds.
else is on there? What else is on the Coach collection?
I'm trying to
I
Back to the
only
Bone.
remember the theme in Back to the Bone.
Yeah,
The rest is
and
like white noise.
Yeah, it's like white noise. Like there was like another like college march.
Coach hanging out those
Yeah.
college march.
Like I had a tiger.
No,
It should be. I feel like you like those songs.
this is my favorite Sears.
This one?
Yeah, yeah,
Why?
because this is Roanoke, and this is actually the back of the Sears, where it's the auto center, because it's so 80s, and because of the light at that time was very like a little yellow on the horizon, but the Sears itself started to glow kind of pink.
It's like golden hour. Golden
Yeah,
hour
but it
Sears.
has the rounded edge, and then these like slats, and then the logo itself, which is in some of the upcoming pictures if we move to the next picture. Yeah, it's got that lenticular stuff. And it looks like it was once blue, but from a distance it's just all faded and white.
Oh.
So it's like this, just the Sears itself gave me the impression of like,
Even the
Yeah.
even the cement is lenticular.
yeah, even the cement looked good. It was like all the textures and all the colors just matched perfectly.
It's good.
Yeah. And then that's kind of the view I'm using for the painting.
It's good.
It's just that washed out.
Yeah, I like how on the bottom it's dirtier from all the runoff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good.
It's seen some stuff.
Seen some
And then
things.
this is a silkscreen print that I made with my artist friend Dave Clock, who does
Oh, yeah.
silkscreen. And this was inspired by that Sears. And this was given to backers of a certain level. It's a silkscreen. And now we're in,
It seems like a tower Sears without the tower.
yeah, once again, this bowed out front part. In and we just noticed.
Oh yeah, we did just notice.
Look at the E. It's like cut wrong.
The white line should be pushed
Yeah.
to the edge.
Oh.
Someone
Yeah.
messed up.
Huh.
Yeah. It's kind of just.
What state?
I think this is Tennessee. And
I like the
yeah, I think this is.
seafoam
I think,
stripes
yeah,
on
I think
this.
we're in Memphis now.
Lawnmowers?
Yeah, lawnmowers. Yeah, I like the texture and the age, and also this
Oh.
Colorful, fun
seafoam.
stripe.
Yeah.
You know, Sears foliage.
There's a little cup growing out of that one.
Yeah.
And this was the second Sears in Memphis.
I think this is my favorite Sears, if I haven't already said. I
Yeah.
had a favorite Sears.
This was, like, every angle on this Sears is interesting.
Yeah, every side of this Sears was beautiful.
And so, yeah. So it's just got all
Like
this...
these crazy, like, even the fence is weird and
Yeah, and then one side has these, like, topiaries.
oh. And then that's another side. I don't know. It just there's something about it. It's like on a ley line or something.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not gonna paint this one because I don't know what angle to pick.
That one. Look at that one. Anyway,
But
I like that.
it doesn't tell the whole story of the Sears.
Then paint 4. Paint every side.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll leave
Did we get
concrete
yelled at
panels.
this one too?
I don't think so. I think I thought I was gonna get yelled at because the security guard kept coming around.
Yeah.
So I had to, like, duck around and stuff. And then, yeah, just,
It's good. It's good Sears.
you know, we got a Hummer.
That's interesting.
And that's, like, a whole other side of it. It has these, like, parking sconces. And that's a painting of that previous one.
Of the seafoam Sears.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just a little painting with that bush in the center. This might be out of order, but this is how you know you've entered Oklahoma. Yeah, this is an Oklahoma Sears.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, if you could,
Yeah.
if we had zoomed out, you would see this parking lot like went on forever, and like the whole side over there is just weeds,
Yeah.
because you know the
Sign of the times.
yeah. But I liked this kind of cube in the center. And I don't know, not much else to say about Oklahoma. At this point in our Sears trip, we were just sort of like, whoa.
Well, you gotta go home. I think I drove through Alabama in a night.
Did we even go through any of it? No, we drove through Arkansas.
Ah, right.
And Arkansas smelled gross.
The whole state.
Yeah, the whole
He's not lost this way.
And then I think this is still Oklahoma.
Yeah, this is still Oklahoma.
Now we're in Texas.
I never had Whataburger before, but
Yeah,
it
we
was
tried
mostly
a lot of regional fast food.
What a lot of mustard.
You know, like in Indiana, we tried the Steak and Shake,
Yeah.
which was I really wanted to try that because Roger Ebert had said it was the one thing he missed about having a jaw.
Eating at steak.
Was eating at Steak and Shake, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah. Kind of questioning. his
Yeah, it was
choices
kind of like
after
somewhere between a Denny's and like a Carl's Jr.
that.
You get a shake.
We did get a shake. It was alright. It
This
was
is
shake.
the one Sears in Texas we went to,
Pretty big.
I guess. Texas border.
Saying people's names.
Yep, saying people's names. This is that place, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, the Spanish style kind of gives it away.
What was the busiest Sears that you encountered on there?
Like the most functional, still in business Sears.
None of them. That's the quick answer. None of them. This only looks busy because it's attached to a mall. There's like a Panera back here.
Yeah.
Was there one in a small town that was like normal?
No, I didn't feel like it. I feel like people just went to Target.
Yeah, I mean we were kind of limited to like following the major like highways. Like we didn't see any in like Nebraska because we're just driving through. And if you make a side trip, it's like you have to drive like.
That's like a whole
5
day.
Yeah.
There goes a whole day.
So, you know, maybe we could have planned better to really find the gems. But I think it's better to kind of.
I started to. I found a beautiful one in New Jersey, but I think when I actually looked
that's
it up,
right.
it had been knocked down.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
remember
all
that. You showed me
black, and it was.
Yeah.
It looked
was
like
a
it
Darth
was
Vader
slate.
Sears.
Yeah, it looked like Darth Vader Sears.
Yeah. This is our final used bookstore. It's like in the window. And yeah, we're now getting really close to Halloween, and to be like in Albuquerque, which is like all of the what do you call them? Houses that people live in. They don't have lawns. They just have like rocks and like no trees. So it'd be like this kind of like Flintstone house with Halloween decorations under like cobwebs. It was just strange. Like there's no vegetation, but we're putting up cobwebs. And
big old bug.
Like
big old bug splat.
No, honestly, we left Albuquerque, and like this was sort of the last full night of this trip, and we're entering like Arizona, and we go across this mountain pass, and like I swear to God, it was like the most beautiful like sunset I had ever seen, because it like the sun, like you remember, surely you do.
No, I remember. I'm just laughing because
Well,
you're
like,
like describing this beautiful scene.
You know, yeah, and all the photos we got of it, because I'd like trying to be like.
Oh yeah, he was driving and taking pictures of the sky the whole time.
I only did that on most.
You only did that every day.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking pictures of these clouds for reference. As we're like hitting the bumps on the side of the road to tell you you're about to go off the side. Anyway, remarkably beautiful sunset that we don't have any good pictures of.
This is the bird.
Yeah, because
Yeah. Then now this is kind of the last official Sears.
Oh yeah, that was.
And this is Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Really pretty.
setting. The Sears. The thing about night photography, if you don't really know how to take photographs, such as me, is that what you are seeing doesn't always match.
Oh. What are you talking about? That's beautiful. That's a pro tip.
So when I keep moving forward. Oh yeah, that's a good picture. So when look at that sweet ride.
It's mostly a picture of the car.
Yeah, so like when I was making the painting of it, I kind of zoomed in on that little area with the trees. And for color scheme, I kind of had to rely less on the pictures and more kind of what I remembered.
Spooky.
Yeah, so but this is just the underpainting.
Oh.
So I painted it and then colored it with black.
It's good.
And then kind of had to redo the logo, but that's the finished one. Flagstaff at night, and that's closer to what it looked like than in the sign was glowing kind of green.
We ate at the Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah, this is our last meal.
We were hoping for a Red Robin. There was no Red Robin in sight.
Yeah, this is Ruby Tuesday. It's terrible.
It smelled awful.
And the next day, back in California, drove all through the night. Back in California, I was driving around and running errands or whatever. And I found this Sears in Torrance. I'm like, where have you been all my life?
It's like the epitome of California Sears.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for. And it was right in my back in. So for the painting, I kind of just zoomed in on that little area.
You need a laser pointer.
And yeah, this is the underpainting. And then I think the next one, that's the finished painting. Just minimalist.
Looks good.
Yeah. And then here we go. Last video. So this is going back to the start of the trip. This is my sister. This is Andy, her husband. There's Owen and Tum Tum. And yeah, there's Crumpet too. And this sort of just goes back to, and Andy's going to say something. Let's let him talk.
Oh. Take it away, Andy.
Last question.
Yeah.
Predictions for the trip? Yeah. My prediction for the trip is that Brandon is going to be able to form in his mind some platonic ideal about Sears. It's like it's impossible to think about triangle. Anytime you think about triangle, you have to imagine a triangle with specific angles and specific size and its length, that kind of thing. And so philosophers always said you can't actually picture a triangle. So, but I think Brandon is going to be able to picture Sears. Without thinking of a Sears, he can picture Sears. It's gonna be awesome.
And so I think what Andy predicted came true. Because now I'll just end with some of the Sears that I have painted. Let's go to the next. Yeah, this is.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is based roughly on the Santa Barbara Sears.
Oh.
But I was like, you know what? I don't necessarily have to match like real colors.
This is your triangle of Sears.
This is the Sears Triangle, yeah. And then the next one, this is the Sears here in Los Angeles on Crenshaw, which actually does have a red Sears logo like that.
Which is
But
so
I was like,
trippy.
yeah, and I was like, you know what? I can make the whole painting red. And then this was sort of the first official Sears. Aaron wasn't with me, but I went to the Bakersfield Sears on a hot tip from one of the donors. It was like, you really need to see this Bakersfield Sears. And I
Good
was
tip.
like, yeah, I was like, you're right, because it's got that 50s Flintstone slate rock texture, and then the Southern California palm trees just shooting up to nowhere.
That's good.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Sears.
And then this Sears is, I had some photographs, I don't even remember which Sears they were from, but they had kind of those angles. And then the sky was from just sort of loose memories of the trip, and I made, this is sort of, this is the triangle. This is the triangle.
Philosopher's triangle.
And now, okay, there need to see.
This is a Sears. This is a very minimalist Sears.
But that's
That's
so
it.
that's our trip.
That's our trip.
So
All we remember.
we went to Sears. And I don't know if there are any questions. I hope that was entertaining. Yeah.
Did anyone from Sears reach out to you, or has
You know,
anyone?
lots of people before we went on the trip were like, "Oh, my dad's friend works at Sears." I told him he was really excited. They're gonna get in touch with you. And I heard that from like 3 different people.
No one did.
No. I kind of like, come on, Sears. You don't have any like, you're not generating any heat. Right now.
Everything that came from it.
Yeah, but maybe they're just like, we can't have a crazy weirdo roaming the country.
I wanted them to give us like a car that said Sears
Yeah.
on the side.
Like to loan us one of their Sears like repair vans.
Oh, that would have been so fun.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but then what do you expect from Sears?
a little map that says, check out these Sears and like the history. I don't know. Just wanted something. Anything.
I just want.
They gotta have a PR department, right?
What's your knowledge or relationship with the Boyle Heights Sears? Because it's a very contentious issue right now. Like, what's going on with that?
Weirdly enough, because I did this Sears trip, I was invited to the Amundsen Theater Group to be a Sears expert on this like playwright panel they had, where it was like they kind of workshop plays where they have established writers and then somebody coming in who's kind of has their project, and the writers give them feedback, and then they will also bring in like guest people. And this woman who was writing the play was writing about her mother, who worked at the Boyle Heights Sears in the 60s, I want to say. But she was one of the people working in the catalog department, which is housed in the huge Boyle Heights Sears. Is the one you can see from like the 10 and the 5. It's a big tower with a green light. It's a Sears. It still has a functional Sears in it, but most of the building itself is empty. They're going to turn it into lofts or something. They're trying to. But at the time, it was a huge distribution hub. And by going to this like playwright symposium thing and talking about Sears in general, the other person there was a Boyle Heights historian, and he sort of gave me the whole history of that Sears, which is it was sort of the hub of the middle class, because the whole corridor, like Firestone Boulevard, it's Firestone Boulevard because it was the Firestone plant. And there was like they would like build cars there, and sort of the in the middle between Boyle Heights, where everybody lived, and the factory strip where everybody went to work, was the Sears. So people would commute and get all their stuff for their houses that they bought with their factory jobs at the Sears. And that sort of just like
And then
died.
when the plant closed down.
The Sears kind of died too.
But not in our hearts.
And then, you know, the catalog department kind of stopped being a thing.
Yeah.
But I think anything that keeps it existing is like a good thing. You know, like you can't totally trust like developers to do what they say they're gonna do. But I don't know, I think that's better than just like knocking the whole thing down.
I would love to see you paint it. Your paintings are so beautiful. It'd be nice to do at Boyle Heights if it does get repurposed or not.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to, because I did this, and I know a lot of development projects will sometimes have to, as a component of getting the permitting and all that, have to put aside. You kind of like have to put aside like a certain number of affordable units, but you also have to put aside a certain amount of money for public art and such. So I'm like, I should kind of put together a package of all the Sears stuff. It'd be like, hey, if you guys want to work with an artist and maybe put up some installations or a Sears show. But it's kind of hard because weirdly, it's hard to find like a developer's email address. So I'm like, I guess I'll make a packet and mail it to them in the mail.
Yeah, hand deliver. Just go bring it to them. Can't say no to your fate, only they can't say no to your fate. They do it all the time.
Any other Sears? Yeah.
I have to tell you that you do not know that your grandfather purchased all of his clothes at Sears, except his suits, which he rarely wore. And he was a scientist, so he wasn't like some podunk person out there. He loved Sears, straight from the catalog.
He was a man of his time.
Yeah, he was a man of his time.
We do it on Amazon. They did it in the
Yeah, they did, and that's kind of the equivalent. Is
They were all khakis, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, khakis.
yeah, I don't. I can't remember him wearing jeans.
No jeans, khakis. And socks and shoes were purchased there too.
What Sears was that?
That would have been down in Woodland at their little,
Catalog
they had a
shop.
catalog store.
I remember that, like on.
Main Street.
Yeah, like a little.
Yes.
Like Sears.
Little,
in
you
the
wouldn't
mall.
even know it was
Yeah,
a Sears.
yeah.
You had to.
Yeah. Nowadays, I think that'd be called a Sears outlet.
Oh, very tiny.
And that's it.
That's our Sears trip.